Alexa, play NPR News Now on Spotify.
Getting NPR News Now from Spotify. Just so you know, while you're listening, you can ask me to fast forward or rewind by any amount of time, like 5 minutes. Now for your podcast. Here's the latest episode, NPR News, February 17, 2025, 7 p.m. EST.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Jack Speer. A judge appears unlikely to grant a request to immediately halt an effort by tech billionaire Elon Musk to access federal data and fire government employees. NPR's Stephen Fowler reports a hearing was held today to take up a lawsuit filed by several Democratic state attorneys general.
This lawsuit argues Elon Musk's influential role in the government is illegal and should be confirmed by the U.S. Senate. The best word to describe Judge Tanya Chutkan in this hour-long hearing, skeptical. Skeptical of the government's claims that Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency don't have that much power, and skeptical that the states suing have showed enough evidence to halt, for now, actions in 7 federal agencies. Chutkan said she'll issue a ruling in the next 24 hours. Stephen Fowler, NPR News.
A federal judge has temporarily paused the Trump administration's plans to slash funding from the National Institutes of Health, but cities that rely on health research for their economies remain concerned. Stephen Bishaha of the Gulf States Newsroom reports the places with the most to lose include red states that have long supported Trump.
University of Alabama at Birmingham is one of the top recipients of NIH funding. It's also the largest single employer in all of Alabama. The Trump administration's plan to cut billions of health research funding would include tens of millions that go to the state. Samford University economist Sarah Helmuth McCarty says that could ripple across all parts of Alabama's economy.
UAB and the biomedical research that happens there is an essential piece of our economy. If it is disrupted, it will affect businesses, restaurants, real estate, all of it.
UAB says life-saving research into things like cancer, Alzheimer's, and heart disease are in jeopardy. For NPR News, I'm Stephen Bisaha in Birmingham.
Roughly 5 billion people, or 60% of the world's population, does not have access to high-quality medical oxygen. That is the findings of a new report from the Lancet Global Health. NPR's Gabriella Emanuel reports.
Medical oxygen is used for a whole host of reasons, from babies born prematurely to patients with heart failure, asthma, or pneumonia. The shortage of safe, high-quality, and affordable oxygen is most acute in low- and middle-income countries. The report, which is the first of its kind, found that the lack of medical oxygen is contributing to hundreds of thousands of preventable deaths each year, and it's reducing the quality of life for millions more. The report found that fixing the shortfall will cost almost $7 billion a year, but the authors say it's as cost-effective as childhood vaccinations. Plus, it helps with pandemic preparedness. Gabriella Emanuel, NPR News.
U.S. financial markets are closed today for the President's Day holiday, though there was trading on overseas exchanges. Shares were up in Germany and Britain and closed lower in France. Japan's Nikkei also moved higher today. You're listening to NPR. Egypt says it is looking to come up with a plan that would rebuild war-torn Gaza without displacing the Palestinian people who call it home. That would run counter to a proposal from President Trump under which the U.S. would, quote, own Gaza, while Palestinians would be relocated during a reconstruction process. According to Egypt's Al Haram newspaper, the counter-proposal calls for establishing secure areas within Gaza where Palestinians could live while Egyptian and international construction firms rebuild. It is icy, snowy, and cold across much of the U.S., but record hot in Brazil. Rio de Janeiro hit 107 today, prompting city officials to issue health warnings and open dozens of cooling centers. More from NPR's Carrie Kahn.
Even at famous Copacabana Beach, it was hot.
Corona, Brahma, Heineken, Coca, Água.
Beers are selling fast, but water is tops today, say vendors. 3 more extremely hot days are expected. This is high summer carnival season that prompted Rio's mayor to raise the new heat warning to level 4 out of 5. Some schools closed and city workers are getting hydration breaks. More than 50 cooling centers have opened. A high-pressure system over the ocean is blocking any cold weather from coming on shore. There's no rain in the upcoming forecast. Southern Brazil, part of the country's vast farm belt, is experiencing record drought. Carrie Kahn, NPR News, Rio de Janeiro.
While U.S. markets are closed for the President's Day holiday, oil continued to trade on global markets today. Oil closed up 65 cents a barrel to end the session at $71.39 a barrel in New York. I'm Jack Speer, NPR News in Washington.
This message comes from Attentive. Imagine getting a message from your favorite brand tailored just for you. Attentive, the SMS and email platform, helps marketers transform interactions into personalized experiences. More at attentive.com/NPR.
From KCRW, I'm Kim Masters, and this is The Business. This week we talk to Wally.